Have you ever considered the most harmless habit in your day? The one you repeat for hours without thinking is secretly eroding your health and shortening your independence. After age 65, it is not processed food, though that is certainly a concern. It is not sugar, though its impact is similar. It is simply sitting. If you are like most older adults across the US and Canada, you spend close to 10 hours a day stationary. And here is the shocking truth that modern science has revealed. Research comprehensively analyzed by the Mayo Clinic shows that sitting for more than 8 hours a day carries a similar, alarming mortality risk to both smoking and severe obesity. We often convince ourselves that our rigorous daily hour at the gym or our brisk morning walk is enough protection. But the scientific reality is that 1 hour of intense, structured exercise cannot fully compensate for 8 hours of continuous sedentary behavior that follows. The damage is deeper, more insidious, and systematic. It is occurring at the cellular level, where a vital biological switch is turned off the very moment you settle into your couch or favorite chair. But there is genuine hope, and the solution is surprisingly simple, inexpensive, and immediate. It does not involve expensive gym memberships, new supplements, or high-intensity training that strains the joints. It involves a micro-behavioral correction, a strategic interruption we call the 3-minute rule. In this deep dive video, I will meticulously deconstruct the science behind the three silent killers that prolonged sitting unleashes on your body, your brain, and your entire metabolism. And then, I will guide you through four critical micro movements. These movements, performed for just 3 minutes, are specifically designed to reactivate your body's essential metabolic engines and protect your most valuable asset, your functional independence. If you wish to add healthy, vibrant years to your life and maintain your mobility well into your golden years, stay with me until the very end. Part 1. The three silent killers of prolonged sitting. We must first understand the enemy in its true biological form. Sedentary behavior is not merely a lack of activity. It is an active, damaging physiological state that is constantly working against you. Killer number 1. The metabolic shutdown. This is the core of the problem, and the battle is fought in your large leg muscles. When you sit, these major muscle groups are idle and largely silent, and when they are idle, a critical enzyme called lipoprotein lipase, or LPL, which is embedded in the walls of the capillaries of your muscles, is almost immediately deactivated. Think of LPL as your body's highly efficient fat and sugar combustion switch. Its job is to scavenge fats and glucose from your bloodstream and burn them directly for energy. In fact, scientific research has shown that LPL activity can plummet by up to 95% when you're sitting continuously for as little as 2 hours. The consequence is immediate and devastating for long-term health. Your body cannot process dietary fats effectively, leaving them circulating in your blood. Blood sugar levels remain chronically elevated, rapidly accelerating insulin resistance. This is the direct, unhindered path to type 2 diabetes, stubborn, uncontrolled weight gain around the midsection, and serious cardiovascular disease. Your body is essentially being forced into a fat storage mode, regardless of how meticulously healthy your diet might be or how intense your morning workout was. Killer number 2. The cognitive erosion. The damage does not stop at your metabolic health or your arteries. It extends dramatically into your brain's structure and function. A prolonged sedentary lifestyle has been firmly and repeatedly linked to accelerated cognitive decline, particularly in connection with the great fear of every senior, dementia. Researchers at UCLA found compelling evidence that people with high sedentary time showed measurable thinning in the medial temporal lobe. This specific region of the brain is absolutely crucial for memory formation, retrieval, and long-term cognitive health. When you sit for extended, unbroken periods, the necessary blood flow to the brain is significantly reduced, stalling the optimal delivery of oxygen, glucose, and essential nutrients. Furthermore, movement helps activate the brain's glymphatic system, which clears metabolic waste. This dual stagnation of blood flow and waste removal hinders neural connectivity, damages brain tissue, and accelerates brain aging far beyond its chronological age. The greatest fear of losing your memory and mental sharpness is being facilitated by the quiet, seemingly harmless habit of spending hours watching television or reading without a single break. Killer number 3, the sarcopenia trap. For those over 65, the greatest desire is to maintain independence and dignity. The greatest fear is losing it and becoming reliant on others. Prolonged sitting is now recognized as the #1 behavioral driver accelerating this loss of functional capacity. When you sit, your hip flexor muscles in the front of your hips are constantly held in a shortened, tight position. This chronic shortening creates an imbalance that dramatically weakens the opposing muscles, your vital gluteals, buttock muscles, and your deep core stabilizers. Your gluteals and leg muscles are, functionally, your natural shock absorbers, power source, and fundamental balance system. When these key stabilizing muscles are weak, your overall posture is compromised and your stability is degraded. This muscular imbalance is a direct contributor to a terrifying 40% increased risk of falls and potentially debilitating fractures in older adults. This means the simple act of rising unaided from your favorite armchair, climbing a short flight of stairs, or stepping off a curb becomes a daily painful and precarious struggle for life. The threat is no longer just fragmented health. It is the complete, gradual loss of your personal autonomy, your dignity, and your freedom to move through life unassisted and on your own terms. Part 2. The 3-minute rule. Instant reversal micro movements. We cannot always avoid sitting due to necessity or comfort, but we must consciously and strategically disrupt its destructive cycle. The core principle, actively supported by the CDC and the NHS, is to stand up and move every 30 minutes. We are going to transform this general recommendation into a specific, scientifically targeted, and easy-to-remember action plan, the 3-minute rule. After every half hour of sitting, make it your absolute commitment to stand up and perform this simple 3-minute routine. It requires zero monetary equipment, just your commitment and 3 square feet of available space next to your chair. Exercise 1. Heel raises, 45 seconds. How to do it? Stand tall and straight. If necessary, hold on to a sturdy chair back or kitchen counter for secure balance. Slowly lift your heels as high as you can, concentrating on feeling the strong contraction in your calf muscles, then slowly lower them back down with control. Focus. Perform exactly 10 slow, controlled repetitions. Precision is key. The science. This is your primary LPL reactivator. Your powerful calf muscles are often referred to by physiologists as your second heart. This rhythmic action actively pumps stagnant blood back towards your central circulation, fighting deep vein thrombosis, DVT, and most critically, instantaneously kicks the LPL enzyme back into active combustion. You are forcing your body to burn fat and sugar again. This helps significantly buffer your body against the post-meal blood sugar spike, substantially reducing your long-term diabetic risk. Exercise 2. Standing marches, 45 seconds. How to do it? Continue standing tall. March vigorously in place, lifting your knees as high as is comfortable and safe, focusing on a deep, gentle stretch in the front of your hips. Focus. Maintain a steady, controlled rhythm for the full 45 seconds. The science. This essential movement directly counteracts the chronic tightening of the hip flexors caused by prolonged sitting. By lifting your knees and engaging your core, you stretch these tight muscles, which immediately relieves tension in the lower back and helps re-engage your fundamental core stabilizer muscles. This is absolutely fundamental for preventing the kind of instability that leads to falls. You are essentially resetting your entire postural muscle chain and actively improving hip joint mobility. Exercise 3. Seated core twists, 45 seconds. How to do it. Sit tall and straight in your chair, ensuring both feet are flat on the floor for stability. Place your right hand on your left knee. Gently twist your upper body to the left, looking comfortably over your left shoulder. Hold this gentle position for 5 seconds, then slowly untwist and switch sides. Focus. Perform 3 smooth twists on each side. Ensure you keep your hips fixed and your feet grounded. The science. This smooth, functional rotation maintains the necessary spinal mobility, a physical capacity that is known to degrade the most rapidly with advancing age. By preserving the elasticity of your spine, you are dramatically improving your functional capacity for critical everyday tasks like turning to check traffic when driving or reaching for an object on a high shelf, significantly reducing the risk of acute back stiffness or injury. Improved spinal flexibility also has a positive cascading effect on overall balance and coordination when moving quickly. Exercise 4. Desk or wall push-ups, 45 seconds. How to do it. Stand an arm's length away from a solid wall or a sturdy desk edge. Place your hands slightly wider than shoulder width. Slowly lean your body in towards the surface, keeping your back and neck perfectly straight, and then use your chest and arm muscles to push yourself back to the starting position. Focus. Perform 10 slow, controlled repetitions with perfect form. The science. This is your safest and most functional upper body strength investment. It fortifies the muscles in your chest, shoulders, and arms. These specific muscle groups are critically important for self-support, the raw strength needed to push yourself out of a deep chair, or, more crucially, the ability to rapidly catch yourself and minimize injury in the inevitable event of a slip or fall. We call this protective strength, and it is a vital element of daily functional capacity and long-term security. This 3-minute investment is the single most powerful, easy thing you can do to reverse the comprehensive damage caused by the previous 30 minutes of sitting. Consistency is not just a benefit, it is the non-negotiable key to unlocking its full metabolic benefits. Part 3. The Grand Promise and the Independence Flywheel. The power of the 3-minute rule is not its temporary intensity, but its profound, consistent application. The metabolic momentum you create with each micro-movement accumulates into major, measurable, long-term health benefits that defy age. You are no longer just passively fighting aging, you are actively building powerful resilience against its most common and most debilitating threats. The Grand Promise is not just about adding a few arbitrary years to your life, but about adding genuine, high-quality life to your years. You are securing your independence, your most cherished possession. You are improving your systemic circulation, which naturally leads to better quality sleep and much more stable energy levels throughout the day. You are actively protecting your cognitive function by ensuring optimal, healthy blood flow and waste removal for your brain. By making these 3-minute interruptions a non-negotiable, automatic part of your daily routine, you are sending a powerful and consistent message to your body. I am in control of my health and my future. Set a recurring timer on your phone right now. Use your favorite show's commercial breaks as the immediate trigger. Treat the 3-minute rule as seriously and diligently as you would any prescription from your trusted doctor. Remember the core thesis. The long-term solution to sitting disease after 65 is not simply more strenuous exercise, but more frequent, strategic movement. This 3-minute rule is the most effective micro-intervention available today. Now, I have a question for our community to spark productive discussion. In the comments below, tell me, out of the 4 micro movements we discussed, heel raises, standing marches, seated twists, wall push-ups, which one will you commit to implementing first? Share your current typical sitting habit and your personal commitment to the 3-minute rule. Your public commitment is the powerful first step towards permanent behavioral change. And if you are already concerned about significant muscle loss or sarcopenia, even while making an effort to stand, you need a more targeted muscle-building solution. The next logical step in your specialized health journey is waiting for you now. Click on our next video right now. 5 seated exercises that build leg muscle, even if you can't stand up. Tap that video now to complete your comprehensive health protocol and ensure you maintain robust, functional muscle mass well into your 90s and beyond. This content is provided strictly for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your personal physician or other qualified health provider before making any significant changes to your established diet or exercise program.